Have you ever stopped to imagine what would happen if a heart attack struck and you were completely alone? No one nearby, no one to call your name, no one to rush to your side. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? But here's the reality. For millions of people, especially those living alone, that fear isn't just in their imagination. It's life. And it can happen anytime. Most of us think, it'll never happen to me. Or we believe, I'll know exactly what to do if it does. But when that crushing pain or that breath-stealing tightness creeps in, panic takes over. Seconds feel like hours. And the difference between life and death can come down to what you do in those first critical moments. But here's the good news. Even if you live alone, even if you're far from family, even if you think you wouldn't know how to react, you can survive a heart attack if you're prepared, if you act quickly, and if you know the steps that medical experts say can literally save your life. Today, I want to walk you through 7 life-saving actions to take immediately. If you ever suspect you're having a heart attack and you're completely on your own, these steps are simple. You don't need medical training. You don't need expensive equipment. And they could buy you the precious minutes your heart desperately needs. But stay with me until the very end, because the last few steps, they're the ones most people overlook. And they could mean the difference between walking out of a hospital or never making it there at all. Let's get started. Section 1. Recognizing the silent signals. A heart attack rarely announces itself with flashing lights and sirens. It often begins with whispers, quiet, subtle changes in your body, the kind that are easy to dismiss until it's too late. Forget what you've seen in movies. The dramatic chest-clutching collapse isn't always how it starts. Real heart attacks? They can feel much quieter. What should you watch for? A growing, uncomfortable pressure or tightness in the center of your chest. It may feel like an elephant is sitting there, or like your chest is filling with heavy cement. It may come and go, making you second-guess if it's serious. You might feel short of breath, like you've run upstairs, even while sitting still. Pain, discomfort, or odd sensations in your arms, especially the left, your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, or even your back. Cold sweats, nausea, dizziness, or sudden lightheadedness. And here's the tricky part. In women, older adults, and people with diabetes, symptoms can be even more subtle. Sometimes it's just extreme fatigue or what feels like indigestion. Here is a story of Richard, 74. Richard was having breakfast when he noticed a dull ache under his collarbone. It felt like heartburn, harmless. But then came shortness of breath and sweating. Luckily, he remembered reading that heart attacks often begin quietly. Instead of brushing it off, he acted. And that quick decision, it saved his life. Your body whispers before it screams. Never ignore those whispers. When in doubt, assume the worst and act. Because waiting could cost you everything. Section 2. Call for help. The very first thing to do, once you suspect something's wrong, call emergency services. Immediately. Don't sit there, waiting to see if it passes. Don't try to be tough. Don't convince yourself you're overreacting. A heart attack isn't a waiting game. Every second matters. Think of your heart like a machine losing power. The longer it's starved of oxygen, the more permanent the damage. But when you call emergency services, trained responders are already preparing, bringing life-saving equipment, and they'll reach you faster than you could ever help yourself. Here is story of Linda, 78. Linda felt a strange ache in her shoulder, followed by nausea and cold sweat. She thought about calling her son, but remembered what a nurse once told her. Call 911 first. Talk to family later. She made the call. When paramedics arrived, her condition had worsened, but they were ready. That decision saved her life. Bonus tip. Most smartphones have emergency call shortcuts, even from a lock screen. Learn where yours is today. It could save your life tomorrow. Section 3. The power of aspirin. Here's a tiny pill that can buy you big time. Aspirin. if you're not allergic, if you're not on medications that say otherwise. Chewing a 325 milligrams aspirin right after calling for help can slow the formation of blood clots, potentially restoring some blood flow to your heart. Chew it. Don't swallow it whole. It gets into your system faster that way. Here is a story of Joe, 72. Joe felt that crushing tightness creeping across his chest. He grabbed the aspirin in his kitchen drawer, chewed it, waited calmly. His cardiologist later said, "That aspirin likely saved your heart muscle and your life." Make sure aspirin is easy to reach. In your nightstand, in your kitchen, even in your wallet. It's a small step with life-saving potential. Section 4. Stop moving. Next, stop a moving. Sit down or lie down, whichever feels safest. The more you move, the harder your heart works. And right now, your heart needs to conserve every ounce of strength. Sit with your back supported, feet flat, arms resting loosely, or lie down gently on your side with your head slightly elevated. And breathe. Here is a story of Alice, 81. Alice felt pressure across her chest. Her instinct: clean the kitchen, get herself together. But her doctor's words echoed in her mind. If you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sat and waited. That stillness likely prevented her symptoms from turning deadly. Doing nothing can be the smartest thing you do. Section 5. Unlock your door. If you're able, unlock your front door. A small act, but it could save vital minutes. Paramedics can break down doors if they have to, but that wastes time. And every second, your heart is struggling. Here is a story of Paul, 76. Paul called for help, chewed an aspirin, unlocked his door. Paramedics reached him without delay. They told him later, those few extra seconds made all the difference. If it feels too risky to get to the door, don't push yourself. But if you're close by and steady enough, unlock it. Consider a smart lock or medical lockbox if you live alone. Preparation is power. Section 6. Use your phone's lifeline. Your phone isn't just for calls. It can quietly save your life. Turn on speakerphone, hands-free, lets you breathe easier. And every smartphone has a medical ID feature, accessible even from the lock screen. List your medical conditions, medications, allergies, emergency contacts. Here's a story of Susan, 79. Susan passed out before paramedics arrived, but her medical ID revealed her allergies and conditions, allowing responders to treat her safely. Take 5 minutes. Set yours up today. Section 7. Control your breathing. Finally, your breath is your best weapon. When fear strikes, your heart races. But slow, controlled breathing calms your nervous system. It doesn't fix the heart attack, but it prevents panic from making things worse. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat. Here is a story of Frank, 83. Frank's doctor taught him that simple technique. During his heart attack, it helped him stay calm, steady, alive. Practice it now, so it's instinct when you need it most. Finally, surviving a heart attack alone isn't about luck. It's about being prepared. Knowing the signs, taking fast action, using every tool you have. These 7 steps, they give you time. They give you control. They give you a fighting chance, even when no one else is around. So ask yourself, what stood out most today? Which step could you prepare for right now? Is your aspirin easy to reach? Does your phone have medical ID set up? Could you stay calm when it matters most? I hope you never need these steps. But if you do, they could be what saves your life. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us bring you more life-saving content. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you learned today that you'll act on. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, even when you're alone, you are never powerless.